pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That just might work, ayy. That just might work.
Welcome back to another episode of the Michel Matters Podcast. I'm Jacques Michel.
And I'm Jackie Michelle.
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Episode 98.
Yes.
Man, one step closer to 100.
This is crazy.
It's starting to look more and more like a reality. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're in the Christmas season. Definitely enjoying time off at home.
Yes.
Finally getting to relax a little bit.
A lot of it. It's been like nothing but relaxing these days.
It's only been one day. So but so far
technically it's been like 3, but yeah.
It's the weekend. But yeah, man. Definitely want to knock out these episodes. Still good episodes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to 100. We're almost there.
Yes.
This is going to be the second episode of the Big Leap series.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you guys enjoy it.
I think this one is relatable.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to know how to make cheesecakes
Mm-hmm.
or you have to have some crazy skill. Yeah. Start a business. This is just different things that you could do on the side. Like,
yeah. And these are things, that she's learned, or these are things that people can do, pick up side business. But I think it's a real good insight on like how someone manages the full-time, the part-time, and just make it work to their schedule. Definitely, I think a good model, good template of how you can get things done while still keeping your 9 to 5.
Yes.
If you're passionate about that, because a lot of people are. Not everyone hates their day job.
Right.
But we still have our side things that we like to do.
Yeah.
And our next guest does that well.
Yeah.
So
it's also like great to know how you can leverage maybe something you've learned on a previous job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still in your field, but you're making money doing something else with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
Yeah, I think so too. So
let's get it on.
All right. Hope you guys enjoy this episode.
All right.
Let's go to the Michel Matter.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. I have personally enjoyed audiobooks as I go about my day-to-day activities, and Audible has over 180,000 titles to choose from. You can listen on all your devices. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/Michel Matters. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Michel Matters for your free audiobook. All right, so for this episode's Michel Matter, we are introducing another big leaper to the podcast.
Yeah.
This one I think is really interesting and can help out a lot of people who also have side hustles, because I think she does side hustling very well. And this is a great friend of mine, Rebecca J. I'll introduce you like that. So welcome to Michel Matters. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you guys to invite me to come on. My name is Rebecca Joseph. I am Haitian American, Miami, Florida, all of that good stuff.
Sure.
I am currently, so my actual paid job is I'm a child welfare trainer. So I train child welfare case managers, and they do 10 weeks, and then they have to take their board certification test to be CWCM, which is a child welfare case manager. After that 10 weeks, and if they pass, we just go on to the next set of new hires for 3 different agencies: Children's Home Society, FRC, and CFCE, which is Center for Child Enrichment, and then Family Resource Center. So we train 3 different departments under our umbrella.
Okay. That sounds like a lot.
It's not much.
Was this like something you always wanted to get into? Like, how did this all start for you?
So I got into child welfare maybe 6 years ago. I left one job and started I became a case manager myself for Broward County. And then I did that for 4.5 years, moved to another agency and went up from case manager to case manager supervisor. And I also had a dual position as a licensing specialist. So I also licensed foster homes. And then this opportunity came up, and I've always wanted to be a trainer because they just always feel like they're just living their best life. You know, they're not as involved with the children and with the parents and removals, and people think that we take their children. So, you know, DCF kind of has this bad rap of like being bad people. So I always wanted to be a child welfare trainer instead. And when the opportunity presented itself, then I took it.
Nice. So what do you study social work to do that? Like, is that the major that you have to study or no?
Not really. I honestly feel like they'll take a teacher, they'll take a nurse. If you want to do the 10 weeks and pass, they're saying that basically you're equipped after that 10 weeks to go on and do child welfare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we brought you on mostly because of your side hustles, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know all of them. Jackie kind of just filled me in. And it sounds like you got a lot going on. So like, what are the different side hustles that you're doing right now?
So first and foremost, my original first baby was Heir Apparel, which is HEIR, heir as in like heir to the throne of God. It is a Christian-based or faith-based, but kind of warped into like a urban for the people, for the culture kind of thing as well. So I wore my shirt today. It says melanin.
Okay.
So things like that, things like, you know, I'm rooting for everybody Black, those different kinds of things, justified by grace, different like designs that I would put on shirts and then sell them. And then I went into creating shirts for everybody for everything. So I wanted it to be faith-based, but people were pulling me in so many other directions with baby showers, with gender reveals, with girls trips, bachelorette weekends, bridal parties, and all those different things. So I started to do like, you know, maid of honor, wedding, bride, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it kind of blossomed from there, and it kind of just took its own life at that point.
So what made you get into like wanting to do shirts?
The Lord.
I'll say.
Because I don't know where it came from. So the first one was To Die Is Gain. That was the first shirt.
Nice. Okay.
And the business was also called T-Dig, you know, originally. That was before I relaunched it as Heir Apparel. It just came out of nowhere, like, oh, I can just put this on a shirt. Like, that's a nice saying to put on a shirt, and I would sell it. And then I was like, oh, well, I started writing different ideas down, different Bible verses that kind of stuck out. And the idea was to not have it be so churchy, but kind of make people think. So when you see To Die Is Gain, you're like,
what is that?
What do you mean? And so it would be like an attention grabber. Taste and see. Instead of saying taste and see that the Lord is good, I just put taste and see. And people are like, taste and see what? You know, like, and gives you the opportunity to have that kind of like attention grabber to get people to, you know, have a conversation about Christ or have a conversation about the Bible or anything like that. So that's how that came about.
Nice. So how do you make that profitable? Like, how does that whole process work? I'm guessing you have to source and get t-shirts. Do you make your own designs? Like, what's the process?
I started with a company that did printing. So I started with a printing company, and they were unfortunately getting so big with their other orders that they were kind of like forgetting the small people kind of, and they were taking a long time with my orders because I was doing 10, 15 at a time. I was very scared to do the production of the shirts and not know who was going to buy them. Right. So it was kind of like selling CDs out of a trunk. You know, you just have them and whoever gets them, they get them. And I was losing money that way. So I would pay them for everything, get it from them, and then try to sell it at an upcharge. After a few frustrations, I was like, I need to learn how to do this on my own. So I bought my own cutting plotter. I bought my own printing press, like heat press. I bought the software, and I bought a printer and upgraded it, put it on my computer, and started doing everything by myself at home.
Wow.
And so that cut a lot of time, that cut a lot of energy. Also people like, oh, well, if you could make this in, you know, red, and can you make this in white? Can you flip the writing? And people are very particular about the things that they order. So it started to become like, okay, I can't just buy black and white shirts anymore. Like, I need to find a vendor. I need to also get my wholesale license. So I have a wholesale certificate to buy wholesale. So I found a shirt vendor. People, do the shirts shrink when you wash them? Are they stretchy? Are they fitted? All of that went into play, and I had to consider my customers, men and women and children. So then I went into children, then I went into onesies, and it just was like, yeah, well, now we want the baby for the 1-year-old birthday party, and we want him to be in a onesie and a girl in a tutu and all these different things. And so I had to research where I could find it for the lowest price that was beneficial, because I believe this shirt that I have on is 2 years old already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be like not shrink when you wash it, not get like dry and like rigid feeling when you wash it and put it in the dryer. So it was a lot of trial and error, different things people didn't like, or they wanted to be unisex, and they, people want bigger shirts, people want flowier shirts. So it went into a whole thing, and I just did everything at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started to ship them as well. So shipping was another thing, because I would go into the post office all week long, because this person ordered on Monday, but then this person ordered by Wednesday and they wanted by Friday. So I got to ship it 2-day shipping. So I bought a printer. I bought a PO box, USPS account, that sticky paper, and I started to print them on my own, press them on my own, send them out all on my own, so I could just drop them to the post office.
So you would work on this obviously after work.
Yes,
And
I would
then-
do it first all evening.
So how long would it take for you to do like an order, or like, I don't know, like from when you get the order, you put the design on it and everything and you ship it, how long would that take?
I usually ask for 14 days, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But then people are very spoiled, and my friends and family are very spoiled. So it's like, Rebecca, you don't think that you can do this for Saturday? And it's Monday, and it's like, well, you're in Miami Gardens, I'm here, XYZ. I would have to send it by really Thursday. So I kind of got to do it tonight if you pay me tonight, and then I'll go to the place and get the shirts tomorrow and get the vinyl, and then I really cut it and press it by Wednesday, so I can go to Thursday morning to take it to the post office to get it to you by your child's birthday party on Saturday. So I started to charge for rush ordering as well. So anything under 3 days, I would charge them an extra $15 or $20 depending on the size of the order for rush orders, because now people are, they think because it's home, I'm just here, press it. I'm not cooking dinner. I'm not doing anything else. They just think I could just do shirts all day. And I honestly did spoil as many people as I could. All of my customers are, their clothing was important to me. Baby showers, gender reveals, that stuff is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I took it seriously.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say, and that brand, that side hustle did very well, because you even had like celebrity clients too come in. Talk about it, so who, have you done stuff for, and how did that come about?
That came about because I put myself out there. Since we're talking about it, I used to follow B. Simone all the time on social media, and her momager, she used to call her momager when she was pregnant. The woman that used to be her manager was Skittles, Mary Seats. And so she had an audition for like entrepreneurs, women, if you want to, whatever. And I did a video. You had to turn in a video. So my friends recorded me pitching myself. It was like a pitch contest. And then I made it to the top 3 of that pitch contest. So people had to vote and repost, and however many likes you got and different things like that, and how good your video was, they would make you the top 3. So we had another secondary competition that was like another pitch conference. We had to talk to people, like they put us in a Zoom conference with a bunch of people asking us, so what did you do? So this and that, so this and that, like right on the spot. Yeah. And I had my notes, I had everything. And then another girl who had like a beard butter or a beard, like a tailor line, she ended up winning. But then Skittles was like, you know what, you other 2 finalists did so well, I'm gonna give you 2 both projects, like different projects that you can do within my company. And so I ended up, because I had shirts and she sold shirts, she was like, anything that comes from Girl Mob, which was one of her businesses, I would make the orders and make the profit from Girl Mob.
Nice.
And so it started off like that. Like I was just, hey, Rebecca, here's the material, pink shirts, white, whatever, white shirts, pink shirts, whatever it was. Here are all the designs. When it comes in, we'll charge, we'll pay you, you ship it out, and you'll keep the rest. And then she started doing this traveling women's retreat. And then it was like, oh, we need like 15 jumpsuits by like the next 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
The first time, I think it was kind of like 3 weeks or maybe a month in advance. So we did these pink sweater sets, like jogger sets, hoodie, and the jogger pants. And it went crazy, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, B. Simone is in your outfit. B. Simone is in your outfit. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I kind of knew she was going. And people took that seriously, and she reposted every vendor that went to the event or it was used for that retreat for those women. And then the next year came, she was like, and not even maybe every 6 months or 4 months, they were like, hey, the next women's retreat is coming up. We want black shirts now with the pink writing on it, black hoodies and all that. And then we did that again. And then I did it a third time. And it was like a week in advance. I honestly feel like I drove myself crazy. So they wanted the Nipsey blue with the black. And it turned out that, several times I've had, high end, I guess, celebrity people that she brought onto the retreat with her, including B. Simone. So
nice.
Yeah.
Like just a side hustle turned into, wow.
Yeah.
Something. You were about to say something.
Yeah, I feel like I got a couple questions, but one of the things that you mentioned was about like doing work with family and friends. Mm-hmm. How is that? Because I know for a lot of small business owners, that's difficult with pricing for family and friends, and like, people wanting discounts or people maybe not respecting your time as much and thinking, you're going to jump through hoops for them. Like, how do you manage with stuff like that?
How I manage it is mainly taking off shipping. Mm-hmm. Like, I will charge you the full price, but if we're going to already see each other, I'll have it in the car. Okay. Or, my sister's like, I'll just bring it to Mommy house. All y'all shirts gonna be at Mommy house. You go over there whenever you want to, have it by Christmas, and the party's Saturday. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So it's mainly like, if you're gonna be there, just put in the car. Mm-hmm. So I'll charge them the real price and then take off the shipping. People have told me, oh, do I have to buy through the website? I could just Cash App you. No, buy it through the website. Yeah. Or, whatever, or take off the $5, $6, $8, whatever the shipping would be, then fine, Cash App that. But again, people just become very spoiled. It wasn't about the pricing as much as it was the turnaround. People weren't really like trying to jit me on the price. They were trying to jit me on the turnaround time. Like, oh, 2 days from now, if I can meet you at your house and pick it up, if you can. It's like, really 2 days from now? Yes, I've had people tell me just the other day, my cousin asked me for a shirt for that night, Friday night. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. So learning how to say no for sure when it's just really out of pocket.
Yeah. And then outside of that, so doing all these things yourself, because you sound like you kind of cut out a lot of the middlemen and you still have a full-time job. How do you manage your time with your work and handling all these orders and everything it takes to run a business as far as like marketing and financials, and how do you balance your time?
Fortunately, child welfare is very flexible, mm-hmm. and I'm usually on the people time when I'm doing certain things. So if I, like today, I trained this morning, I have a module and I'm having day 2 tomorrow. If I had an order that was due by maybe Friday, and I have a Christmas order due, I would order it in the morning, know that I got out of training at 2, I would leave here, go to Doral, pick up the shirts and the vinyl, come back here, cut tonight. After work tomorrow, I would peel everything tomorrow, press it. Maybe if I'm done peeling, if it's like quick, like someone wants like a Merry Christmas shirts, I have to do. They just want the word Merry Christmas in white on red shirts. Simple. So all I would need is to pick up the red shirts, pick up the white lettering, peel it, and then tomorrow press it, and then have it ready, pack it, and then in the morning, I know I'm off on Wednesday, I'm not teaching because, the holidays coming up, I would take it to the post office by Wednesday. Yeah. So I would manage everything with time, ordering it a couple of weeks early, even if it's like I'm too busy, I'll just pay the extra amount of money to get it delivered instead of going all the way to Doral to pick it up. So I manage it that way. But it's usually because with child welfare, you're doing home visits and stuff at, certain different times. You can kind of like be home by a certain time and have the rest of the evening and go into the evening like that.
Yeah. Now that's just one, right? So like, that's how you balance the shirts and work. but you do other stuff. Like one,
I
at
do.
least I know a little bit more about is you do poetry and you write. You've written. This is your second book.
This is my third book.
Third. All right. See, I'm catching up. All right. Third book. So you
Yeah.
do a couple more things. Like now that we're adding more and more, like how does that work for you? Because
That's discipline.
yeah.
It does take discipline. I'm gonna give you that. When I do need to buckle down, like today, I really need to start on the shirts today. Like I'm done. And so the books came about as well from just the Lord putting it on my heart to just write. So I started texting words to myself, and I only write, like, I'm not gonna go and just like write a poem right now tonight. It has to be like on an either high or a very low level of emotion. So if I'm super, super happy or in love or whatever it is, I'll write. And then if I'm super sad or heartbroken, I'll write. And so the first two books, 2016, the books are called Smeared Lipstick Book, Volume 1, 2, and 3. And I have them here.
Yeah.
Promote.
So this is Volume 1, and it's poems and thoughts from the heart of a once broken woman seeking God's heart. So that came with heartache. And then the editor that I was working with asked me to split the lovey-dovey poems from the heartbreak poems. And she was like, you should make it a volume 2. So we have volume 2, which is like more lovey-dovey. And this is the recovery of a broken heart. So that was Smeared Lipstick Volume 2. And then volume 3 that just came out October 31st. Jackie was there. Thank you for being there. Was volume 3. And this is Beauty for Ashes, kind of like the Bible verse where you're kind of like rising from as a phoenix, from the ashes. God is going to give you beauty for, that pain. So they all came about with me just texting words and phrases and thoughts to myself or poems to myself. And I was like, I definitely should write a book. Then I just did.
What made you think that, or how did you know that was possible to write and then publish it on your own? Like, have you seen other people do it, or you were just like, there has to be a way, let me just figure it out? I don't know.
The latter. Because I don't know any self-published authors. I know people who write, but I never went to go ask anyone. And so I'm the type of person, and this is the kind of person I feel like you have to be. Once you know you want to do something, you figure it out and you make sure it happens. There's no way around it. And so I just researched and prayed about it and asked God to open the doors for it. And then I found 48hourbooks.com, which they're a company that within 48 hours, if you can pay for everything in time, they would print your book, you upload the front, you upload the back, you upload your pages, they give you a book, basically a template to put your book in on how to turn it in. They bind it, they ask you what kind of spine you want, spiral spine, whatever, hard copy, hardcover and all those different things. Do you want it to be shiny, foil, whatever you want? And it just asks you every question one by one. And it was like, this is what your book would be like. Would you like to pay for a proof? And you pay for a proof. They send you the proof, the first version. And it says, it's an actual book. It's not like it says proof on it.
Yeah.
So they send you one. And once you approve your proof, then you go to manufacturing. And so the more you buy, the price goes down like as wholesale. So if you're buying one book, then it's a $27 book. Or if you're buying 100 books, maybe it's $2.27. As you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then I would upcharge it and put it on the website myself and sell it for what I want to.
Right.
So as someone who's getting started in this, is writing a book for you right now profitable? Is it a pet project, or how does that work? Like financially writing a book?
It's actually more profitable than the shirts, and it's easier than the shirts.
Well, yeah, because the shirts, there's a lot of labor involved. You have to go pick up the stuff. You have to go press it. You have to ship it. The book, I'm sure if it's online, well, if it's on your website, you're still shipping it yourself. But
correct.
In that, you're not printing pages at home and binding a book together.
Correct. And if it's wholesale, you put the money in. And what I did was pre-sale. So I knew what the margin of error was going to be. But by the time you sell your books, you probably triple the profit.
Yeah.
So as opposed to, right, like Jackie said, doing all of that work for an order if you charge $20, maybe you're already spending 10 on labor, you're getting $10 back. With the books, I'm charging you for the price of the book and the shipping. Right. Because the envelope is not free. I mean, shipping is now $8 now, $7.95, I believe, for just the regular envelope, like the thin envelope, not bubbled, not any of that. The prices have gone up at USPS as well. So as that goes up, I would upcharge with the shipping. And that's it. You put the book, I write in the book, and I ship it out with the label, and it's nothing. So I would prefer to do that than to do the shirts.
Yeah.
Really?
So, so you see yourself writing more books?
Like I said at the book launch, the only other thing I see myself doing is a children's book.
Okay.
I really want to do like a Black girl, like little kid cartoon book. I don't know if it's going to be ABC 1, 2, 3, or I don't know if it's going to be like, Don't Touch My Hair. You know how those books have come out with like about different things. I don't know what it would be, but I want a book that's going to promote positive, like, what's the word? Like something positive for children to read.
Yeah.
What it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, that's what the side hustle number 2. What else she has?
So I know that you sing and you're really good at it. And I know that you perform, at certain lounge places, but I think any time that I've asked you, you always said you don't want to make an album. That's just not what you're trying to do. But do you ever like have singing gigs? Is that a part of the side hustle or is that just like a passion?
That's just a passion because I can't find myself to charge people for it. It's very difficult. Like I've done weddings, I'm dressed up, makeup done and everything. And I'm just like there by myself at people's weddings. But I can't find myself to charge for it because I enjoy it so much. And then the open mics are people who actually want to put their music out there. I'm just like, oh no, I'm just going to do a cover of this song because I just want to get all the feels out and keep it moving. So I could, but I feel like the demand will get higher the more that I start to charge for it. Then it's going to be like, okay, now every weekend you at somebody's wedding. Like, I don't know if I can, but I don't want to.
It's not fun anymore.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit of a job.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna be like, what song do you want me to do? And where, if a wedding starts late, now I'm there for 2 hours. It's gonna be a lot of other factors. And I don't want to. Singing is just my baby on the side. I do have other things. So.
Yeah.
What else? So what else is there? Catch me up.
So I recently became a telehealth therapist.
Okay.
A friend of mine, my background is in counseling. So I have a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in counseling with a concentration in applied behavior analysis. Cool. But I got into child welfare, and child welfare kind of sucks you in. Like once you realize how much you can care about the kids and care about their livelihood, you're there for 6, 7, 8 years before you're like tired of it. So, and I was doing licensing, foster homes, different aspects of it. So I didn't really get tired of it. And so I left psychology and the therapy and all of that behind. My friend Tharonda in Boston, she left Miami after school and went back to school after she graduated. And she was like, God put it on my heart to call you. I'm like, oh goodness, what is it? And she was like, I really think that you should go into the telehealth field because you use your degree for what it's worth. You haven't really used it. And I love therapy. I always wanted to be a therapist. I think that the therapy system is just now getting back to being a respected business. I think a couple years back, it was like people were scared to do it. People were charging and diagnosing people with any old thing and just, oh yeah, you have ADHD, or your child is this and your child is that. And it's like, I didn't want to get into it anymore when I was younger. And she said, I have some clients I think that you should do, via Zoom. You put a password protected account. We would get you set up with an email address and you would meet them and you would just do the sessions based on what you've learned and your experience. And she gave me my first client, I believe in August, a couple a married couple, and then I got a 20-year-old, and then I got a 23-year-old. I'm starting now tomorrow with a 25-year-old. And so she also says she has a 16-year-old for me. So I do telehealth therapy on the side.
How is that going? Like, when do you fit that in?
Yeah, it's only 24 hours. Yeah.
I know, but I love it so much. I get off of a telehealth like session and I'm like smiling.
Yeah.
I love therapy a lot.
Yeah.
With work, because there's 5 of us on the team. So if you were teaching module 1 for 2 days, and then I was teaching module 2, and then you were teaching module 3, I'm not on the schedule every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I book my sessions in between the days that I train. So I'm training today. I don't have anyone. I'm training tomorrow until 2. I'm meeting the new girl at 4. Wednesday, I'm doing a 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock and a 12:30. And, and then I have one more on Friday. So it fits because the way that child welfare just goes around the training department, you're not training every day in front of the camera.
Right.
You're working from home. So it's not, I don't have to consider a drive, traffic and all that stuff. I can be done at 2 and do something else at 3.
So you're home with all of these side hustles, really, unless you're at the post office.
Yep. And I've been to the office maybe 4 times this year since I've been hired.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
that is awesome. Including the holiday party.
Right. It seems like you're just making it work for you. Like it fits, so you're really taking advantage of every opportunity that's coming across your way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so have you seen, I don't want to say this busy, but has being this productive in all of these different areas made it the most profitable for you? Like, since doing all of these side hustles, have you seen, is it worth your time? Like financially, basically.
And so I was having a
conversation. Pockets, but
right. I was having a conversation with my friend Audrine about, and she made it a joke, but I'm low-key serious. She was like, she also does like cups and mugs and coffee cups and all that stuff. And I didn't get into that because I don't even understand that. And so she was like, oh, just give me Air Apparel and, I'll take over your Instagram and I'll give you like 20% of all of the profit.
Wow.
And she was laughing, but I was like,
no, yeah.
Really? Because that is what I would let go. Air Apparel is what I would easily let go.
See, that's what I was about to get into. All right. Consider but consider everything you got going on, right? Like, which one of these do you consider like your passion? Like, what are the priorities? Like, which ones come first? And if there is one of your side hustles, if you could like turn that into your full time, which one would it be?
No, it would be therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
I absolutely love it.
Okay.
Like really love it. Like my clients, I'm like kikiing with them on the calls. They're like, oh, that's my therapist. My therapist. Like, it brings me so much joy to like not have to give them diagnosis and be so engulfed around how they're behaving. We just have conversations like normal people. I'm not throwing like, big words at them and different things like that. They're normal people.
Yeah.
And so if I could do training in the daytime and then do therapy, those would be the only 2 things I would do. The books will sell themselves, and it's hard for me because you have to do content. Like my lovely married friends, Jackie and Jocks Michelle, helped me record an audiobook. I have to go and now learn how to put that audiobook into a YouTube video. I was doing it now before we got on the call, practicing how to do that because people want content with these kinds of things. Like they want their heartstrings pulled on all the time. And if you're doing poetry, they want to see visuals. TikTok, like a TikTok can get 1 million views in just a 15-second clip that just like made somebody think about their ex-boyfriend. It's like, oh, I have to follow her page. And now they follow your real page and they find you on Instagram and they find your page. So yeah, that content creating is exhausting.
Yeah.
And with Air Apparel, it was even more exhausting because to do one shirt, I have to make the shirt in black and then make it in white and then make it in brown and then make the writing white, make the writing black, make the writing brown, switch it up, have my friends come get makeup done, have my cousin come and, do a shoot for one look.
Yeah.
For one look. And it's like, now I wasted money because I've asked 3 people there. I'm not going to ask them to charge, I'm not going to charge them to model. So now they going home in their shirts because, Sabrina and all my friends, they walk away with their shirts every time, bathing suits, take it home. No problem. Sweaters, hoodies. If I make it for you and you're modeling for me, you take it home. I never take any of my content back. So when they're creating content for me and modeling for me, that's money already gone before anyone else even sees what I'm about to put out next.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if it doesn't sell, it's like, oh, 3 orders. Oh, great. The same 3 shirts that I did for my 3 models, is what I'm making back for free again. And it's like, oh yeah, 4 orders. Got to do something else, because now we had to do 5 TikToks just for this one shirt. And then the TikToks ran out. So now I got to meet with her again, makeup again, hair again, make shirts for them again,
Yeah.
And hoodies and all that stuff is expensive. So when it gets cold, you're not buying t-shirts, you're buying hoodies, jackets that cost $15 a sweater, $12 a sweater. I'm trying to sell it for $25, but I already spent that on just doing the modeling.
Yeah.
Right.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
It is. And it's fun and cool. We get it organized, we get it done. And people are like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. It's real dope until they go online and leave their cart.
Yeah.
Right there. And they're not purchasing. Whereas the books was like, you have an order. You have an order. You have it. The first day, it was quick.
Yeah.
Like 30, 40 orders in just that 1 week. And that's just, bing, you have cash, PayPal. You have money. You have money. You got money. Nothing, no problem. And you're spending $8 to ship it. They spent the $28 and you keep your $20.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Sound like the move. I have to do some more books.
Yeah. Listen, it might be the move. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess to make what you just said a reality, right? What would that look like? Because it sounds like you kind of have an idea with doing training in the morning, doing therapy at night, or afterwards, kind of stepping away from AirPro. You kind of sound like you're making a plan, but like
making my getaway.
But what does that look like for you? Like, what would it take for you to be like, okay, steadfast, like, yeah, that's what I want to do, and I'm ready to start? Like, when are you think you'll go all in on that plan?
It was actually supposed to be yesterday. But she, like, with all that was going on, she was supposed to come to my house early and learn air apparel. So I was going to give her the password to my Instagram, show her how to, because she knows how to cut and all that stuff, because she does cups and masks and like smaller stuff. I was going to teach her on a grander scale how to cut bigger, how to press. She was going to take everything home and do like an order by herself soon. I was going to do this Christmas order because it's a friend of ours, and I'm just dropping the shirts off because they're my friends. They didn't pay no shipping. So I'm dropping it off to her house. And so we were going to work on that, but she didn't come on time. So sometime in the next couple of weeks before this new year, I need her to learn everything, so that, because someone paid for something and they wanted it for Christmas.
Yeah. And
I had to refund them, honestly. I said, I apologize that, my website is still open. I apologize that, I'm not going to shut down my website or hide it from, being visible. But I'm going to just respectfully refund you, because I'm not going to be doing shirt orders until the end of the year, because I'm not going to Doral getting things in Hialeah, getting, Amazon, wait for the Scully. And she ordered like a jogger set. The joggers are sold out. The sizes, I couldn't even think about it right now.
Yeah.
So I just respectfully declined to do it and refunded her money. And so I'm going to have her pick that up, start doing the content, show her how to do it. We found out last night that she was going to be working a new position from home. Yeah. So maybe God is just, okay with like someone else doing it.
Yeah. And then she'll be able to offer the other things that she's already doing with her business with the cups and the mask and all that stuff. That small stuff I'm not doing one cup and I can't. So that's what the transition would look like. And then my friend, who is technically, I guess, my supervisor for therapy, she has the 16-year-old who she's going to increase as I get comfortable.
So she's like, if you could do 3 clients a day, that's 15, and she's paying me a good amount. I'm not going to lie. That extra money, I'm a homeowner, a new homeowner. And so when they take out all their money for everything and homeowners and a mortgage and all that stuff, and when you get like a ka-ching, Abide Integratives has paid you for therapy sessions, and you see that extra, 180. Oh, okay, well, I'm back on board. Maybe I wasn't gonna get my nails done, maybe I am now. So it's like she pays us every week. We turn in our billing by the end of the week, and by Monday or Tuesday, you're getting paid again. So I never now. That's the difference. To answer your question, Jackie, you had said, like, how is it like with the income now? All of that money comes to me, as opposed to with Air Apparel, I always had to go and get printing paper. I had to go and get vinyl. I had to go and get more shirts, more hoodies. Yeah. It was always rotating, and I never felt like I was able to pay myself. I wasn't paying myself for years.
You're paying the business.
I'm paying the business. But with therapy, it's like, with an hour, you see 5 clients and that's $250. Like, that's no problem.
Yeah.
And it's yours to keep. It's yours to, maybe go out of town, buy a flight, and then the next time you get paid again and see 5 people again that week, maybe you can pay for your Airbnb that. So it's like easier. I don't feel stressed about my mortgage. I don't feel stressed about even cable, Netflix account. Like, I'm not like a stickler for my funds the way that I was with just Air Apparel.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I guess my last bit of question, is that, at least the plan that we talked about, is that like the ultimate goal, or what would be your ultimate goal as far as like, because it sounds like you want to keep your day job. It sounds like that's what you want to do. You want to be like a perennial side hustler. But what is like your ideal side hustle setup? Is what we talked about? Is there anything else or something different you want to do?
No, the only side hustle that I picked, the only other side hustle that I pick up is doing home studies on the side. So I still have my old supervisor. When there's a conflict of interest with a county, they need another county to do that license for that home. So I recently did one. She called me today. She said she's dropping off another file for me. That's another $600 just to turn in a home study.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna say no, but it's $600 one time for one file, and it's like that conflict of interest is not going to come up again until that person needs to be relicensed next year. So it's not like I'm waiting for $500-$600 to come up. That's just, I'm gonna take it because it's there. But ideally, I would be a therapist full time and have a business where I would either manage the entire, like be the program manager for other therapists in a facility that maybe we all pay for, kind of like how you pay for barber. If I can open an office and have my sister do social work, I do therapy, but handle the program management, maybe 1 or 2 other therapists, they pay me, their office fee or something like that. And we all just have this amazing workspace for mentoring and counseling and coaching and all of that. I would stop everything for that.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. But the daytime is, I like training. I love training. They're really cool people and you don't get attached. They do their 10 weeks and then you're on to the next set of new hires. Yeah. So I'm going to hang on to that for as long as I can. But if I get to, my supervisor is technically seeing clients from 8:30 to about 8 p.m. So she's seeing clients all day. And that's how it started. She was very overwhelmed with the new influx in Boston. And she was like, this is just one city. And I have so many queries in my queue. I can't even talk to all of them to get them intake and all that stuff. So I don't know what's happening in Miami. I would see clients in Miami and then they would pay me directly. I don't want to take Medicaid, but hers is through Medicaid because she's a licensed social worker. Me being unlicensed, I can't bill Medicaid, but my therapist that I go to, I pay her. She doesn't take Medicaid. And you don't have to give them a diagnosis when they're not on Medicaid. Right. So if it's just $60 a session, you pay me cash credit or whatever you want to pay me, and that's that. So I would do therapy with her, take my own clients on the side, and then just be a therapist.
Okay.
And then if I'm singing, I would sing. I would still have my open mic time. I would still sell books because I think that it's important for this message for smeared lipstick to be out there, and do that, and that would be it. I would be on no one's clock but my own.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all the questions. I think you're doing side hustling amazingly well. Like for real. Like of all the people that I know that have side hustles, you do it really well. And you still have time or make time for the people in your life, for yourself. We didn't even get into self-care and like how you make time for that. But I think you do that well. So yeah. Thank you for being on.
This was cool. This is cool. I'm glad we got you on.
Yes.
Finally.
I know. And I think I do want you to stay on for the business spotlight.
Of course.
Because it'll be your book and then you can tell us a little bit about your books.
Oh, okay.
Is that cool?
Yes, that's cool.
So let's move on to the business spotlight.
All right. All right, so for this episode's business spotlight, we wanted to highlight Rebecca and her book series, Smeared Lipstick. The latest edition is volume 3, which is out now along with volume 1 and 2. But I want to let Rebecca talk a little bit about it, where you guys can get it, and how you can support.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. So volume 1, 2, and 3 are out now at www.smearedlipstickbook.com. We also have an audiobook that was recorded by yours truly, Jackie and Jots Michelle. You can get Smeared Lipstick Volume 3 in an audiobook as well. It will say audiobook in the writing at the top before you purchase, and that can be downloaded immediately to your computer in a zip file through the website. And you can follow me on Instagram at Smeared Lipstick Book as well.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I can say a little bit about it because we recorded it, so I got to hear all of it. I'm like a poetry guy. I like stuff like that, and it was fun to record. Definitely emotional. It was a lot. It was a lot going on. But I would definitely recommend you guys go out and definitely get the audiobook with the physical copy. You will not regret it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
I'm just so glad. I love reading, but I love just the openness and the transparency within all 3 volumes. So yeah, definitely go get it. This is the type of stuff that we need, people like expressing themselves fully and truly and making it plain in a book. So I love it.
All right.
Yes.
So once again, thank you, Rebecca. It's another episode in the books.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
See you.
On you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. That you might work. That you might work.